Hey everybody, Mario here, otherwise known as Y2M on your webs, and welcome to another edition of the 52 Review. So I don't have a lot of time to waste because I have 7 new DC 52 comics that I bought on the week of April 18th, 2012. So I should stop yapping and let's get to it with Birds of Prey number 8. So I know there are official terms and names and such, but I'm still kind of confused and I'm pretty sure you are, so let's just get right down to it. Alright, so as you know, last time, it seems that Black Canary and the rest of the birds have finally tracked down the leader of the chameleon people. I know what they're officially called, but I'm just saying. But just before she can get some answers, well, a sudden unexpected occurrence happens that I'm going to have to probably read past issues to figure out how it came out to be. And now we got some doped up, hyped up, needled up assassin slash henchman going after all the birds. And especially Black Canary for some reason. And once we find out what the deal is with that, well, we're starting to put 2 and 2 together that maybe perhaps Dinah wasn't framed, but maybe that there's more truth to the accusation that she faces. There's some high-octane action here, although the cover's a little confusing because Poison Ivy does not make an appearance whatsoever in this book. But then again, considering what one kind of henchman is all about, maybe she was just, running for her dear life. It was a pretty good issue, but once again, a little confusing. I'm really waiting for a story arc or an issue altogether where, something straightforward and not confusing. But hey, you know what? I like the birds because, hey, this is one of the few female superhero groups or just the superheroines in general that are not like all about the TNA and that's it. So, gotta take our victories when we can, champs. Next up is Green Lantern Corps number 8. So you remember me talking about last issue that despite how quiet and contemplative the issue was, that Jon Stewart's probably going to have to deal with some repercussions on the actions that he did on issue 6? Well, guess what goes down in issue 8? So, if in case you were wondering who polices the police force, we get an answer here. We get some good banter between John and Guy and some of the other lanterns, but really what interests me is these Alpha Lanterns, these Justicars, if you will, of the Green Lantern Corps. I'm interested to see how things will play out because judging by how things are building up, sides might be chosen. There might be another Green Lantern Civil War. So I hope that Peter Tomasi's a little careful about how he plays this one out. And considering that we know that the Guardians are up to no good, there's still that little thing that's hanging in the air. So we'll see what happens. Overall, though, it was a really good, solid issue. I did like the artwork by Fernando Pasarin, and I'm just looking forward to see how this will play out, more than likely in a Civil War fashion. Next up, Supergirl number 8. So, after narrowly avoiding disaster in the last issue with the World Breakers, Kara is dealing with some fallout from the battle that she had with those World Breakers. She's still pretty weakened, and it looks like the authorities might have her in a corner, but along comes an unexpected source of rescue who has an interesting power. I guess what I'm trying to say is Kara might have found a BFF, finally. And just when it looks like this issue might be just a girl talk BFF kind of issue, well, we get another unexpected twist and a new villain, at least one that probably will last for maybe 1 or 2 issues, I'm guessing. Supergirl, at least this run of Supergirl, has just been pretty consistent in its run. I'm really enjoying it, and it's been kind of a pleasant surprise for me. I'm really enjoying it, and I really hope that you give it a chance as well. Next up, Wonder Woman number 8. So, I think I can say that this is quite honestly the best Wonder Woman run, I think, to date. I haven't read as much DC as some of you hardcore guys, so maybe if you want to interject and correct me, feel free to do so. But for me, this has just been an amazing, welcome surprise. It certainly has a hint, a tinge, a touch of God of War, of Xena, I feel, and especially how Wonder Woman has decided to garb herself in this issue. It's a little hard to argue that point. So Wonder Woman has finally decided to go to Hell, or Hades, to rescue Sola from the underworld. This issue played out just nicely, and the fact that Wonder Woman looks like she's going to be using arrows as gats, I was pretty hyped up about. While things didn't play out that way, the guns were used in a very unexpected fashion, and I really did not see it coming. And I'm so glad that Wonder Woman can still throw a cliffhanger or an unexpected twist there, because a lot of people still are not convinced, 8 issues in, that Wonder Woman is actually a worthy read. But I'm here to tell you that it is, so pick it up. Next up, Justice League, number 8. So still missing Jim Lee's artwork, but not so much. We get some good guest artists here, and the artwork is pretty nice. This issue is a little slower pace, not as slow as 7, but it is a little lighthearted, and it just shows the dynamic and the bonds that are still strong and consistent within the League. I especially liked the trade-off, the banter between Batman and Green Lantern. It was something that I enjoyed since the first issue, and I'm glad it's still pretty consistent here. And considering that it's been 5 years since what went on in the first couple of issues, I'm glad that the banter has at least evolved to show that they're a little more friendly towards each other. Also, we get to see Green Arrow make a guest appearance in this issue, and I didn't know what to think about it at first, but he actually fits in rather well. I was actually kind of rooting for him a little bit, and I'm so glad that he's more or less the comic relief. Not that I'm saying that Green Arrow's a joke, I'm just saying in this issue, it was really great to see. And it's a little odd that despite the fact that I haven't read any new issues of Green Arrow lately, that they're playing Green Arrow how they played in Justice League. You can tell the difference. I actually prefer how he's portrayed in Justice League, and I really wish that if he was portrayed like that in his own series, maybe I might come back to it. It was a pretty good, solid, lighthearted issue, and as for the Shazam backup, it was pretty good, albeit slow, although we're getting introduced to a lot of characters, some new, some familiar, and we're pretty much reaching the literal calm before the storm, so something is about to happen soon. Justice League has been knocking it out of the park pretty consistently. It is one of my top 6 favorite DC comics. Pick it up, you won't regret it. Next up, Nightwing, number 8. So, holy crap, this is one of the 2 issues that I think you should pick up this month, because it is a prelude to the Night of Owls crossover that is going to kick off in full effect next month. So, some stuff has happened, and you may want to read Batman, which I'll talk about in a minute, that has made the entire Bat family spring into action, stop as many of the Talons that are out there from taking out all the influential people of Gotham. By the way, that was spoilers. Nightwing has to deal with one of the Talons from committing his latest murder, and I really like the action sequences. The artwork was spot on, the action was played top notch. I really enjoyed it. The monologue that Dick was having and that a certain Talon was having, it was pretty great, and we get to learn a lot about that particular Talon. There is a bit of a twist at the end, just when you thought Nightwing had done his thing well. It was kind of one that I saw coming, but you know, it's still just as exciting. And I cannot wait to get as many tie-ins to this crossover as I can. This is promising to be one for the ages, I think. And maybe, this might show that not everybody has to be included in the crossover. Just saying. Great issue, pick it up. Now you know what my pick for this edition of the 52 review will be. But I'm going to say it anyway. Batman, number 8. Yee! Did I just do that? I'm so excited for this series, so I don't care. So, Scott Snyder, nailed it again, and so did Greg Capullo with his artwork. So still reeling and still really not great from the whole escaping from the Court of Owls not too long ago. Bruce is still recuperating and still trying to decide his next move. Unfortunately, the Court of Owls won't give him much time to do either, as they decide to strike first. And I like that it's not Batman necessarily that's dealing with the Talons, but rather Bruce Wayne. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil a lot more than that. All I will say is that everything just fell into place. The action, the artwork, the dialogue, the story, everything just fell into place. Everything was perfect. and I am so glad how things played out. And really, things are not looking great for Batman or Bruce Wayne at all right now. That is until we get to the last few pages of this issue, which I was like, "Aw, yeah. Yeah, here we go. Turnabout right here." I'm sorry. I'm just really excited for this series. Also, I love this issue's backup because it answers a lot of questions about how the other members of the Bat family spring into action, or will be springing into action rather, in their own respective comics. Solid issue, but then again, I expect nothing less from Snyder at this point, and really, guys, I really should stop downing him. I mean, always, every month I have like this tiny bit of doubt, and I always get proven wrong, and I always look dumb with egg on my face. So, way to go, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Another solid issue, cannot wait for issue 9. So that does it for now. As always, questions, comments, anything you want to post about anything I talked about, or any suggestions you want to give, please feel free to post on the commentary plot. I do read them, and I will get back to you. I try. Other than that, I have nothing more to add, so I'm going to go and deal with this heat, and I'll see you around. Live nerdcore, Y2M out.